Hello, hello. Here we are, winding down our semester together. So I want to go over a few pointers as you all are working on your literature essays. First of all, and this is kind of an overarching concern, not just about literature essay, there have been a lot of points of confusion from folks over the class, and a big reason for that is not going through and looking at the supporting content provided in each week's folder. Y'all have had readings, y'all have had supplementary materials, and the expectation is that that stuff will be read and looked at. So if you will please make sure to look at the videos, look at the content, and do the readings in all of your classes. Do that stuff before you jump in and try to do the weekly assignments, do the essays. So I've had a lot of questions that have been covered in the reading and been covered in videos, and I understand, when we need points of clarification, when something needs to be reviewed and gone back over, but in a lot of cases I'm finding that folks are not doing the readings. You need to do that stuff. That's there for a reason. Everything fits together. Everything goes in a logical order. There's a reason that you have, stuff in week 6 and then in week 7 and then in week 8. So please make sure that you are looking at that content. So first of all, I returned feedback last week on the literature essay proposals, and a lot of people didn't follow the directions. I discussed that a theme should be a complete statement. Theme is covered in detail in chapter 40, writing about literature, which was assigned. You don't need to worry so much about the theory, but you do need to look very carefully at the elements of literature. Theme is covered very closely on page 430 in the text. It's in chapter 40, section C. I strongly recommend that you look at that if you had trouble with your theme. I asked you to include the name of the literary work you're working with, the theme that you're working with, which must be a complete statement. Think complete sentence. It can't just be an abstract idea. It has to be stated as a complete sentence. And the literary elements that you would be using to discuss that theme, 1 or 2 at most, okay? So if you didn't give me that information, or you got feedback that some of that was incorrect, please make sure you email me to get settled on that and get any clarification that's needed. If you are missing out on some of that, the essay is going to be difficult for you to get a good grade on, okay? So citation, we are back in the land of MLA. Hopefully that's like coming back to an old friend, or maybe a friend that you had a falling out with, but now you're really happy to see after hanging out with APA for a few weeks. Now you have an MLA section in your text as well. As far as citing the sources that I provided for you, the short stories, the poems, you should have information to do that. So, for instance, the things they carried, we have in that file, you have the author's name, you have the title of the story, and that it came from the book, The Things They Carried. You do not have to provide information that is not available. Remember that when you are working with documents to cite, you can only work with what you have available as you create that citation. Don't make up stuff, just use what you have. For everyday use, you've got the author's name, the title of the story, the publication, the year, all that information. Use that. So use the information that you have. If you have page numbers, use them. If you don't, skip them. Now, keep in mind with poems, you should be citing line numbers instead of page numbers, and you should use a slash to separate lines to show where line breaks would have been in the original publication. This is also covered in chapter 40, so if you need a review of that, you can get that there. Several people asked about a example. There's also a sample essay in chapter 40 in the text. Different assignment, but you can see what an MLA formatted literature essay would look like. So remember that the essay is due at noon on Wednesday this week. Your little presentation is also due at noon on Wednesday this week, along with your slides. To keep your presentation easy, I recommend starting with whatever you write your literature essay on, and then pulling in something from the sciences or social sciences, just to make it simple and quick. I just want to see that you can synthesize that information, that you can do a little research, that you can put all that together. So, all of that said, let me know what questions you have, if any. I'm meeting with a lot of students this week. My days are starting to fill up, so if you have questions, please get them in soon. If you need to get a meeting with me, please schedule that soon. I'm trying to turn around work as quickly as I can and respond to all questions in a timely fashion. Banging out emails as fast as I can. So if you need me, please get in touch, but don't delay. Okay, so we're almost there. Hang in, finish strong, follow the directions, read everything that needs to be read. And if you need clarification, please do let me know. Hope you're doing well. We're almost there. You can do it.